If you're over 60, your body's changing faster than you think. But 3 simple exercises can slow the clock, sharpen your mind, and keep you moving like you're decades younger. Miss even one of them, and you could be aging twice as fast. Walking. It's the first thing you learned as a child, and it might be the last thing you lose as you age. But here's the part nobody tells you. The way you walk could be one of the most powerful predictors of how long and how well you'll live after 60. Sounds dramatic, right? But it's not just opinion, it's science. Researchers have found that walking speed is such a strong health marker that doctors in some countries use it as a vital sign, right alongside heart rate and blood pressure. In simple terms, the slower you walk, the higher your risk for decline. Now, most people over 60 think, I already walk, I'm fine. But here's the problem. Casual strolling isn't enough. You need to walk with intent, purpose, energy, and just adding about 14 extra steps per minute, roughly the difference between wandering through a park and actually marching toward a destination, can make a massive difference in your endurance, balance, and overall health. And this isn't just a random suggestion. It's backed by a groundbreaking approach from Japan called interval walking training. The formula is simple. 3 minutes of brisk, almost power walking pace, enough to raise your heart rate and make your breathing slightly faster. 3 minutes of slow recovery walking to catch your breath and let your body prepare for the next round. You repeat this cycle for about 20-30 minutes. No machines, no gym, no complicated instructions. Just you, your shoes, and a little bit of consistency. The results? In controlled studies on adults in their 60s and 70s, this method boosted aerobic capacity by nearly 20% in less than 6 months. Reduced blood pressure without major lifestyle changes, significantly improved leg strength, balance, and posture. Even helped participants walk faster in their everyday lives, which is directly linked to reduced fall risk and longer lifespan. One participant described it like this. I felt like I got my body back. I could walk up hills without stopping. My knees didn't ache as much, and I wasn't afraid of losing my balance anymore. And here's what's happening inside your body when you do it. Those bursts of faster walking challenge your heart, lungs, and muscles just enough to trigger adaptation. Your heart pumps more efficiently. Your muscles build new mitochondria, tiny energy factories that keep you moving. Your circulation improves, delivering fresh oxygen and nutrients to every part of your body, including your brain. Your nervous system sharpens, improving coordination so you're less likely to trip or stumble. And yes, this method is incredibly joint-friendly. Unlike running, which can hammer your knees and hips with up to 3 times your body weight in impact, brisk walking is gentle while still being powerful. That means you can train hard without beating up your body. But here's a hidden benefit most people don't know about. Walking, especially at a faster pace, has a direct link to brain health. Studies show that regular brisk walking increases blood flow to the hippocampus, the brain's memory center. It helps protect neural pathways, potentially lowering your risk of cognitive decline. In fact, one long-term study found that older adults who regularly walked briskly were less likely to develop serious memory problems later in life. Think about that. Every single walk you take isn't just keeping your legs strong. It might be keeping you sharp enough to remember your grandkids' names, enjoy meaningful conversations, and stay independent well into your 80s or 90s. And here's the best part. You don't need hours. Even 20 minutes a day can start making a difference. That's less time than most people spend scrolling through their phone. You can fit it in before breakfast, after dinner, or even in short bursts throughout the day. Picture this. It's early morning. The air is cool. You lace up your shoes and step outside. The first few minutes are easy. You're warming up, feeling your joints loosen. Then you speed up. Your arms swing naturally. Your breathing deepens, and you feel a rush of energy. 3 minutes later, you slow down, let your body recover, then push again. By the time you're done, your cheeks are warm, your mind feels clear, and you know, deep down, you've done something good for yourself. It's a simple habit, but most people your age don't do it. They shuffle along at the same slow pace every day, wondering why their strength and stamina are fading. But if you make this shift, if you walk with purpose, you'll already be ahead of 90% of people your age. Because brisk and interval walking isn't just about moving your feet, it's about turning back the clock on your body and mind. And yet, even this powerful habit won't cover everything. Because there's a second exercise, completely different, that can protect your heart, your brain, and even delay diseases that rob people of their golden years. And almost no one over 60 is doing it. For most people over 60, the word cycling brings one of 2 images to mind. Either the carefree rides of their childhood or Tour de France athletes powering up mountains at superhuman speeds. But here's the truth. Cycling isn't just for athletes, and it's definitely not just for the young. In fact, the science is clear. It might be one of the most powerful tools you have to protect your brain, your heart, and your independence. A massive 44-year study, yes, you heard that right, 4 decades of research, followed thousands of adults and found something astonishing. Those with high cardiovascular fitness, often from activities like cycling, had up to an 88% lower risk of developing dementia. Even more incredible, when dementia did occur, it happened almost a decade later than in people who didn't have that fitness base. Think about that. An extra 10 years of clarity, memories, and independence. And the benefits don't stop at brain health. Cycling is a full-body investment in longevity. Every time you pedal, you're training your heart to pump more efficiently, improving your circulation, and giving your lungs a workout that keeps them strong well into old age. That's crucial because after 60, your cardiovascular system naturally starts to slow down. Without some form of consistent aerobic challenge, your stamina, recovery speed, and even your energy for daily activities begin to fade. Here's the beauty of cycling. You get that challenge without punishing your joints. Running can send shockwaves through your knees and hips with every step, but cycling is low impact. Your body weight is supported by the seat, which means you can work your muscles and heart without grinding down cartilage. That's why so many orthopedic doctors recommend it to older patients, especially those with arthritis or knee replacements. And let's not forget the mental side. Riding a bike, whether it's outdoors on a sunny trail or indoors on a stationary bike, triggers a surge of endorphins, the feel-good chemicals in your brain. It's a natural mood lifter, a stress reliever, and for many people, it even helps fight off symptoms of anxiety and mild depression. Combine that with the rhythmic motion of pedaling, and it becomes almost meditative, a moving form of mindfulness that clears your head and sharpens your focus. Then there's the hidden benefit almost nobody talks about: social connection, group rides, cycling clubs, even casual meetups at a local park. These moments create community, and studies are clear. Staying socially active is just as important as staying physically active for long-term health. In fact, people with strong social ties have a 50% higher chance of living longer compared to those who are isolated. And don't worry, this doesn't mean you have to go out and buy a $3,000 road bike and ride 50 miles a day. You can start small. Stationary bike at home, perfect for rainy days, quick sessions, and safe pedaling without worrying about traffic. Neighborhood rides, 10-15 minutes around the block to build a habit. Weekend scenic rides, parks, lakesides, or bike paths to make it enjoyable and keep you motivated. Even just 2 or 3 20-minute rides a week can strengthen your legs, improve your balance, and train your heart in ways that make daily life, climbing stairs, carrying groceries, keeping up with grandkids, feel easier. And here's the real kicker. Cycling doesn't just add years to your life, it adds life to your years. You'll move with more confidence, breathe with more ease, and think with more clarity. So imagine this. You're on your bike, the morning air is crisp, your legs are turning smoothly, your heart is pumping strong. Maybe you're riding past familiar streets or exploring a new trail. You feel a sense of freedom you haven't felt in years, the kind of freedom that reminds you you're not just alive, you're living. Cycling might not be as simple as walking, but paired with the first exercise, it creates a 1-2 punch for endurance and brain health that's hard to beat. Still, there's one more piece to this puzzle, because no matter how much you walk or cycle, if you're missing this third exercise, you're leaving your strength, balance, and independence vulnerable, and it's the one that can keep you on your feet for decades to come. If walking and cycling are like the engine that keeps your body running, strength and balance training are the frame and suspension that hold everything together. And after 60, this becomes non-negotiable, because muscle loss after this age isn't just likely, it's guaranteed unless you fight it. The scary truth? Most adults over 60 lose muscle mass at a rate of about 3 to 8% per decade, and that rate speeds up after 70. This isn't just about looking toned. It's about keeping the strength to get out of a chair, carry groceries, catch yourself if you trip, or even just open a jar without straining. And here's where most people go wrong. They think balance just happens as a side effect of being active. It doesn't. Balance is like a muscle. If you don't train it, it weakens. That's why falls are the #1 cause of injury in older adults, and why you can't rely on cardio alone to keep you safe. The good news? You don't need complicated equipment or hours in the gym. In fact, some of the most effective exercises for older adults are incredibly simple. Wall push-ups build upper body strength and keep your shoulders mobile without putting stress on your joints. Squats or chair stands strengthen quads, glutes, and core, the muscles you rely on for almost every movement in daily life. Lunges improve single leg strength and challenge your balance at the same time. If you want to take it up a notch, you can add stability challenges like Bosu ball, single leg deadlifts. Fire up your hamstrings and glutes while forcing your stabilizer muscles to work overtime. Weighted V-sits strengthen your core and improve posture, which is key for staying upright and avoiding back pain. Seated single-arm shoulder presses work one side at a time to build functional strength and balance between both sides of the body. Why does this work so well? Because strength training wakes up your fast-twitch muscle fibers, the ones that help you react quickly if you stumble or need to catch yourself. And balance training retrains your nervous system so your body instinctively knows how to stabilize, even on uneven ground. Together, they create a protective shield against one of the most dangerous threats to older adults: falls. But there's more. Building muscle also helps regulate hormones, improves insulin sensitivity, and even supports your nervous system, making your movements sharper and more controlled. And unlike cardio alone, strength training continues to burn calories after your workout, helping you maintain a healthy weight without extreme diets. And here's something most people never realize. Strength training can literally reverse some of the effects of aging on your muscles. In one study, adults in their 70s who began a simple strength program regained muscle tissue that looked and functioned like that of people decades younger. That means it's never too late to start. You don't need to lift heavy weights like a bodybuilder. Bodyweight movements, resistance bands, or light dumbbells can deliver huge benefits, especially when done consistently. And when you combine these moves into a strength and balance circuit, you get twice the benefit. Stronger muscles to handle daily life with ease. Better stability so you can keep moving confidently without fear of falling. Imagine this. It's a rainy afternoon. You've got a little time before dinner, and instead of sinking into the couch, you stand up, head to the wall for push-ups, follow with a set of squats, and finish with a balance challenge. 10 minutes later, you feel stronger, steadier, and more in control of your body than you have in years. Now put all three of these exercises together: brisk walking or interval walking, cycling, and strength and balance training, and you've built a complete anti-aging blueprint, one that protects your heart, your brain, your muscles, and your independence all at once. Because aging isn't about the number of candles on your cake. It's about how much life you still have in your years.